Hey, it's Al here from Al's Geek Lab. Hope you're doing well. I've got a question for you. Have you ever been on something like Discord and gone, I love this, it's great, I'm talking to my buddies about things that I like, say retro things. But then you've gone, it's just not authentic enough. I'm talking about retro things, but I'm on a brand new computer like the one behind me. Now, that's good, but it's not good enough. I think that we should be able to talk about retro things on retro computers. Of course, that's probably just me. But I thought, let's make that happen. I want to talk on IRC and make that chat visible to all my friends on Discord. And then I thought, I can do that on an old computer, but what if I want to make it happen on a BBS as well? Well, mission accomplished. I've made Discord talk to IRC from the 90s and also from BBS's, which I could guess you could say is 80s technology. Bridged all three, and here is how you can do it too. Okay, let's show you what I'm talking about here. On the screen here, you can see Discord, and if you've not used Discord before, it's a lot used by streamers, by gamers, but other people as well that just want to talk about things. So on the left-hand side, we got a bunch of sort of what they call in Discord land servers, and you can see I'm part of a whole bunch of servers that talk about different things. And one of those servers happens to be the Al's Geek Lab server, and you can see that represented by the Al's Geek Lab icon over there. You can also go to direct messages and talk one-on-one with your friends. So basically this is like IRC was back in the good old days of the internet. It's just the same thing. If you don't use Discord, it's kind of like Slack or other things, but mainly for informal chats. Okay, now that you know what Discord is, I'm presuming that you're probably watching this video because you already know what Discord is. But so, hello everyone. I'll put a message out. Now, I'm on my Discord server called Al's Geek Lab, and as you can probably make out here, text is probably a little bit small, but I'm in the channel called General. Okay, there's a few other channels. There's YouTube channel, BBSing, InfoSec, Vintage Computing. And if you want to join the Discord channel, then feel free to jump right in. Anyway, that's Discord. Now, back in the day, you may be familiar with IRC. So here's an IRC client. This is what some of them look like. This one's called Lime Chat, I think. And the reason I'm using this is because I'm on a Mac. And so this is one of the free ones. Now, you can see that I'm already in a server, and there's tiny text down here. I'll bring up the details actually a little bit here. Server properties allows me to show that I'm on an IRC server called opicron.eu. And it automatically joins a channel called Al's Geek Lab. #Al's Geek Lab if you want to be precise. So we go here, we can look here, and it says AGL bot from Discord, Al's Geek Lab, the user. So my name is Al's Geek Lab here. You can see that I have said hello everyone, and that's come directly from Discord. So what I'm showing you here is that there is a one-to-one map from the IRC to the Discord. So I can go, oh hey there. Now we look down here in Discord, and IRC, Al's Geek Lab, has just said, oh hey there. So we can talk both ways in IRC and in Slack. We have truly bridged the two. Now here's where it gets even better if you're a BBS user. So on my BBS, this is the Al's Geek Lab BBS, you can go into the Doors menu. So I think that's by G for Games and More. And here's the Doors menu. And you can see there's various things you can do in here, games and so forth. But up top here, there's the iChat IRC chat. So if I go and press C, now up comes the channel, and automatically it joins Al's Geek Lab channel on the Opicron IRC. We go back to the IRC there, we can see that Hijinks, which is my username on the BBS, has joined. So if I go over to the BBS here and say, it's me the third time around, over in the IRC channel it says it's me the third time around, so it's copied from the BBS onto the IRC chat, and of course it's also put it into Discord. So there are 3 ways that I'm connected. Now, this iChat door or mod, if you call it that, for the BBS is just using IRC. So it's effectively just a normal IRC chat, but inside the BBS. But this truly allows you to kind of bridge all 3 ways of the old, the semi-old, and the new, which is the Discord, all 3 in one. So, and I think whenever you can do that sort of stuff, it's really cool. You're bringing the 80s, the 90s, and today all together in basically the same technology. So today on the channel, I'm going to show you how I did that, and you can join in for the fun. So I won't go into the absolute nth level of detail, but I'll go fairly deep so that you could probably do this yourself. So if you've got a BBS, or if you've got an IRC server and you want to bridge the 2 or the 3, then this is roughly how you can do that. Before we move on with the video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to PCBWay for supporting Al's Geek Lab. Whether you're recreating a vintage motherboard or testing a fresh microcontroller idea, PCBWay will turn your Gerber files into polished boards in just a few days. Pick your solder mask color, add silkscreen, and if you like, let their team handle full component assembly so it arrives ready to boot. And guess what? You can get started from just $5. And if you need more than just PCBs, they also offer CNC machining, 3D printing, and sheet metal work, all from the same dashboard. Visit their website today at PCBWay.com. We'd like to thank PCBWay for keeping our projects powered. Now, let's get back to the video. So first of all, there's a technology called Mattermost. Now don't worry, we don't need Mattermost, but there's a platform that kind of basically allows you to bring together technologies, including chat, and this is their corporate website, whatever. Open source wise, there is somebody under the name of 42Wim on GitHub that's basically brought together some of the technology, specifically the chat technology of Mattermost, and made a bridge out of it so that you can bridge different types of technologies. Now, the different types of technologies are quite vast. In fact, if we have a look down here at the natively supported, you can see there's whole lots of them. Discord, obviously, Gitter, Harmony, IRC, which we're chatting here with, Keybase, Matrix, Mattermost, of course, Microsoft Teams. Just size this up a bit for you. So Microsoft Teams, it's quite interesting, really, because that's quite a closed source platform. Mumble, Nextcloud Talk, Rocket Chat, Slack, which is quite interesting for me because I have to use Slack for work. SSH Chat, Telegram, Twitch, the streaming technologies for gamers, VK, WhatsApp, and also XMPP and Zulip. All right, so quite interesting. There's also Minecraft, Delta Chat, and some third-party projects through Discourse, Facebook Messenger, Reddit, and some other ones as well. So that's really cool. So you can bridge all of these and have like more than just two. Like, so obviously what we've done here is just bridge, IRC and Discord. But you could actually have multiple of these technologies. You could have IRC, Microsoft Teams, Discord, and Mumble, say, all together in one bridge, I guess you could call it. So that's basically the idea of Mattermost. You can download this for free. It costs absolutely nothing. And, obviously that price is good for me. So this is the source code. Now, I'll just zoom it down a little bit, or maybe try and move it this way so you can see. So if we go down here, there's the hard way and there's the easy way. And most of the time, the easy way is reasonably good. So the easy way is to use releases. So you can build this from source code and tinker about with it and make sure the source code is safe to use. But it says here most people just like to use the latest binary. So you can go on to the releases page and download the version that you're interested in. So obviously if you're running a Mac, you would run the Darwin version. If you're running Linux, then you could download this one. And it's fairly up to date, January 30th, 2023. But you can, of course, just download the source code and build it yourself. But this one is the easiest way. You just download it to your computer, whether that's Windows or Mac, OpenBSD, or of course Linux. So what I did is I did just that. I downloaded the Linux install where I have my BBS. So if we look over here, Matterbridge just here, and this is the release binary for Linux 64-bit. And then you just set up your toml file, which is the config file. So I'll just show you what that looks for me, and then we'll go back to how we set up a robot on Discord. So first of all, really the main idea is that you have to set up the actual items that you want to bridge. So we want to bridge IRC, and we also want to bridge Discord, okay? And then we need to make a gateway, or the actual bridge itself, to say which of those technologies, you could have, as I said before, 3 or 4 of them, but which of those technologies you want to bridge. And so we've called this IRC to Discord, and we want to obviously enable that. And which accounts are we actually going to bridge? So I've bridged the channel Al's Geek Lab here, on the server IRC and Opicron, which is defined up here, as well as the Discord channel Al's Geek Lab, and the channel is general, but the server is Al's Geek Lab. So first of all, we have a look at this one. The IRC bit is really quite easy. We just say which server we're on and whether we use TLS encryption. Now, on this particular server, they're using a self-signed certificate. So I had to change this to use TLS verify. So that verifies the authenticity of the certificate. So skip TLS verify was set to false because it would verify the certificate. I set that to true, and everything just came to life and worked. So you can set the nickname of the bot. So this could be any nickname you like, but I'm using a bot here to talk between the services. Basically, when I join the IRC channel, it calls itself AGL bot. In fact, I'm sure that's there. In tiny, tiny text up here on the right-hand side. I don't think you can make that out really on the video, but basically it says AGL bot there. So effectively what we've got here is we've got a user called Hijinks, which is me right now, a user called AGL bot, which is this bot that we're making with Matterbridge, a real user called Ganiman, and then another user, which is also me, called Al's Geek Lab. So we've got multiple users, and the bridge between all of this is the AGL bot. So I called it something with bot in it because I wanted people to know they weren't actually talking to a real human being. That was just the bot that was traversing the information between IRC and also the Discord server itself. So then I put in the sort of real name as well to just kind of make sure that people knew it was the bridge, and also a username, which is pretty irrelevant. It's not being authenticated. But if you had an authenticated user and you were properly worried about security and so forth, you would put in information about the username so that you could register that username as well, so that nobody else took that username on the IRC channel. So that's where you'd put in the information about that. Now, anyway, into the Discord part, obviously a little bit more complicated. I have to set up that bot, because the bot is that thing that allows us to channel the information between Discord and the outside world, including IRC. So a lot of these things you can just copy and paste, and I'll show you that in a minute. And of course, down at the bottom here, we have the information about the gateway being we talked about at the beginning. So you must be asking, how do we set up this bot? Well, fortunately, on the the GitHub, it's also given to you pretty much straight away here. So you don't really need to fiddle through. You can follow this sort of step by step. So you basically go to Discord itself and you set up a new application. So there's the link. Go to the new application bit, and you can see that I've got an application already set up. So then you can just go click on New Application, call it what you want, make sure you agree to the terms and conditions, and basically just follow these steps. So a new application, create a new application, call it whatever you want, and then give it a logo if you want to help people identify it, call it a bot, and so forth. Just follow these instructions through. It was actually really easy. I completed these steps in about 5 minutes. And you just make a verification that it's all you, and then you go, you're authorized. And then all you have to do at that point is get this token, right? There's a token here, and your token goes into the configuration. So your Discord token goes in where it says token, and obviously your server is your server ID. So the server ID, I think you get it just by clicking on the actual server itself. Copy server ID, there it is there. So you right click on the server, whatever the server is. This is publicly known information, so you just click on the server ID and then right click it and then copy it, and then you can now paste it into the configuration just like that. So that's it. Once you've done that, you then make sure it's just called matterbridge.toml, and then once you're started up, make sure this is an executable file. If it's not, you can make sure you can do that. So you can do chmod +x and then the Matterbridge executable file like that. And then the permissions will have an X in them here, like that. And then you do // and then Matterbridge like that, and it will start up and read the configuration. Now, obviously, you probably want that to start up if it's start up with your computer. So if it's on a Linux machine, you'll use either init, system v init, or more likely you'll use the systemctl system to start up your application. So make a little script. Now that you've done that, obviously you want, if you've got the Opicron IRC mod for your BBS, I'll give that quickly. I'll show you that demo there as well. So on Mystic, which is what I'm using, Mystic BBS, I've popped the script for the IRC application inside the scripts folder here. So there are separate installation instructions for that. So if you're interested in using this on a BBS, of course, so not just on IRC, you can download the mod for your BBS. And the particular IRC chat that I'm using is one by somebody called Opicron, and there's the GitHub there. So it's Mystic BBS-IRC. So have a look at that if you want to download it. The installation instructions are fairly straightforward. So yeah, it's all in the readme.txt. So I'm assuming that you've kind of got that up and working. And basically all you have to do to change it to make it work with your system, your Discord bot, I should say, is make sure that you change either the default or the custom INI file. So if I look in my custom or default, then you'll see that I've got the default server set to the fours. I should really call it something else than the fours. But if we have a look down at the fours here, it's defined as connecting to that IRC Opicron EU server, and it's got the channel als Geek Lab. So every time the mod starts up, the default server that it's going to connect to is the one with my bot already connected to the Matterbridge bot. So I'm in that als Geek Lab channel. And that's why when I go to IRC, I connect to irc.opicron, I can see my BBS user connected. So if I go into the BBS and I quit out of that channel, it says Hijinks has left the IRC channel. So Hijinks is the username that I'm logged into on the BBS here. And you'll see me reconnect if I go in there and join. So now it says Hijinks has left, but now he's joined. And I say hello again. Boom, there we are. So Hijinks has said hello, and Hijinks is over there. So everybody that's connected, whichever way they want, is always going to go in there. So that's basically how you make the mod in the BBS work. So that's pretty cool, right? We've got a way to chat inside a BBS. We've got a way to chat inside IRC, and we can chat together with all of that inside Discord. Pretty cool to bring all three worlds, the BBS, the IRC on the internet, and of course Discord as well, all together in one system. If you liked what you saw here, then I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you like this sort of stuff where you get together old technology, new technology, bash them together and make them do stuff, then of course subscribe to the channel, because I do all sorts of stuff like that. I always like to bring the old to the new. And of course, if you're really interested in the stuff that I do, then check out the Patreon channel. Patreon.com/AlsGeekLab is the way to do that, and you can get some early access to some cool content. We've got scripts, we've got videos, all sorts of stuff to keep you interested on your Al's Geek Lab addiction. Until next time, I've been Al, I'll see you soon, and be excellent to everybody. Thanks for now.